Let me share a powerful truth: your thoughts shape your world. And if you want others to think about you, you must first understand that their thoughts are a reflection of what you impress upon them. If you are to make someone think about you non-stop, you must take control of your inner world and plant the seeds of your desire in the garden of your imagination. The first step is simple: live in the end. Don't focus on the means, focus on the result. See, feel, and know that the person you desire to think of you is already thinking of you in the exact way you wish. What you think about, you create. When you live in the end, you not only impress that thought on yourself, but also create the emotional atmosphere for it to be impressed upon others. Imagination is the tool we all have, but so few use it wisely. Imagine right now that someone is thinking about you non-stop. What would it feel like? Would you feel loved, valued, admired? Would you feel the power of their attention on you? Let yourself truly believe and feel it. The more you immerse yourself in the experience of being thought of by them, the more you will make it a reality. But before you seek attention from others, begin by giving it to yourself. Become someone who cannot help but think of themselves in positive, loving, and powerful ways. When you reflect that energy back to yourself, others will begin to see you in the same light. When you are your own greatest admirer, the world will follow suit. Your thoughts are not merely fleeting ideas passing through your mind. They are the powerful creative force that shapes your life and the world around you. The idea that your reality is a reflection of your inner world is not just a philosophical concept, it is a fundamental truth of how the universe operates. What you focus on internally, what you dwell on, is what manifests externally. This principle applies not only to your circumstances, but also to how others perceive and think about you. If you desire for others to think about you, the first step is to cultivate thoughts about them in a way that creates a magnetic pull, drawing their attention to you. The law of attraction is based on the premise that energy flows where attention goes. If you consistently focus your thoughts on a specific person, imagining them thinking about you, imagining them admiring you, or even simply thinking about you with affection or curiosity, you begin to send out that very energy. Your thoughts are not confined to your mind alone. They radiate out and influence the world around you. This means that by focusing on someone thinking about you, you are essentially setting the stage for them to do just that. You are planting a seed in the universe, and that seed grows as long as you nurture it with your belief and emotional engagement. But this principle doesn't just apply to the people you wish to have thinking about you. It applies to everything in your life. Everything you experience in your external world is a reflection of your internal state. If you spend your time thinking about opportunities, possibilities, and success, you will begin to see those things manifest in your world. If you dwell on lack, fear, or rejection, you will see those things reflect back to you. In the same way, when you focus on others thinking positively about you, it becomes a magnet for their thoughts. They will pick up on that energy, often without even realizing it, and begin thinking about you in the very ways you've imagined. The key here is intention. It's not just about random thoughts or idle daydreams. It's about consciously directing your thoughts toward a specific outcome. If you want someone to think about you, you need to approach it with a sense of certainty and purpose. Imagine them thinking about you in the way that you desire. Visualize their thoughts turning to you, their attention being focused on you, whether in admiration, curiosity, or even a deep personal connection. As you consistently dwell on this, you create a field of energy that draws them into your orbit. This process requires more than just wishful thinking. It requires emotional engagement. When you think about someone, don't just picture them superficially, feel the emotions that come with it. Feel the excitement, the joy, or the warmth of their thoughts. This emotional connection amplifies the thought, infusing it with energy and making it even more powerful. This is why emotions are so crucial to the process of manifestation. Thoughts alone are powerful, but when combined with strong emotions, they become nearly unstoppable in their ability to influence your external reality. Another important aspect of this process is the understanding that your inner world has to be aligned with the outcome you desire. If you want someone to think about you positively, You cannot be consumed by doubt or insecurity. Those negative thoughts will only create resistance in your mind, and you'll be sending out conflicting signals to the universe. Instead, cultivate confidence in your ability to shape their perception of you. Trust that your thoughts have power, and that by consistently focusing on them, you will create the reality you desire. The truth is, the moment you realize that your thoughts are the building blocks of your reality, you gain control over your life in ways you may never have imagined. It's not about manipulating others, it's about aligning your inner world with the outcomes you desire. When you focus on others thinking about you with the same intensity and belief that you focus on other areas of your life, you will find that your relationships, your connections, and even the way people respond to you will shift. They will begin to think about you, and you'll start to see those thoughts manifest in your interactions with them. That the power to influence the thoughts of others starts with you. It starts with the thoughts you choose to focus on, the energy you put into them, and the belief you have that they are already becoming a reality. If you can cultivate this inner certainty and emotional engagement, you will create a reality where others are constantly thinking about you, drawn to you by the magnetic force of your thoughts. Living in the end is one of the most powerful principles you can apply to manifest your desires and shape your reality. It is the act of mentally and emotionally stepping into the end result of your desires, as if they are already here. When you picture the desired outcome as if it is happening right now, you align yourself with that reality, and in doing so, you create the emotional state and vibration that naturally draws others into your energy field. This practice is not merely about visualizing, it's about becoming so emotionally connected to the desired outcome that it feels real to you in the present moment. Imagine for a moment that the thing you desire is already yours. Whether it's a person thinking about you, a specific opportunity, or a life-changing event, see it clearly in your mind's eye as if it's happening in this very instant. Feel the excitement, joy, or peace that would accompany this moment. By imagining it in this way, you are not just passively wishing for it, you are actively living in the emotional state of having it. This is the key. You must embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled. The emotional state you cultivate through this practice is not just a fleeting emotion, it is a powerful vibrational energy that broadcasts out into the universe. Emotions are the language of the subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. When you create strong, positive emotions around your desired outcome, you impress that energy onto your subconscious, and your subconscious, in turn, directs you toward the experiences, actions, and people that will bring that outcome into your physical reality. The key is to feel the reality of your desire as if it has already occurred, which then aligns your energy with that of your wish. Living in the end requires a shift in your perception. Rather than focusing on the steps that need to be taken to get to your goal, or worrying about whether it will actually happen, you must focus solely on the feeling of having achieved it. This is a subtle but powerful shift. It removes all doubts, all limitations, and all fears. You no longer concern yourself with the how or the when, you simply focus on the fact that it is already done. You live in the end result, and that is where your power lies. When you make this shift, you begin to create an energy field around you that naturally attracts others to you. People are drawn to the energy of certainty, confidence, and alignment. When you live in the end, your vibration becomes magnetic, and those around you can feel that you are living from a place of fulfillment and joy. This emotional state and vibration are irresistible, and others can't help but be pulled into your presence. They feel the energy you are emitting, and in turn, they start thinking about you, connecting with you, and taking action that brings them closer to you. This practice also removes the need for external validation. You are no longer waiting for others to initiate the connection or show interest. You are living in the end result, and that energy does the work for you. It is a shift from being passive to being active in the creation of your life. When you live in the end, you are not at the mercy of external circumstances. Instead, you are creating your own world, one that aligns perfectly with the energy you are projecting. Living in the end also removes resistance. Often, when you focus too much on the future, you create tension or anxiety around the desire. You wonder when it will happen or if it will happen at all. By mentally and emotionally stepping into the end result, you eliminate this resistance. There is no room for doubt or fear, because you are already experiencing the outcome. You've already won in your mind and heart, and that victory ripples out into the physical world. The more you practice living in the end, the more natural it becomes. You begin to move through life with the confidence that your desires are already on their way, because in your mind, they already exist. This mental state of fulfillment and emotional alignment becomes your dominant vibration, and that is what draws others into your world. They are drawn to your certainty, your peace, and your radiance. Living in the end is about aligning your inner world with the outer world you wish to create. By mentally and emotionally stepping into the reality of your desires, you magnetize that reality to you, and the world around you responds to the vibration you are sending out. Imagination is a tool that holds immense power, more than most people realize. It is not just a passive act of daydreaming, it is an active force that shapes your reality. Through imagination, you can mold your inner world, and by extension, you influence the outer world. One of the most profound ways to use your imagination is to shape how others perceive you. When you imagine that someone cannot stop thinking about you, you are not merely wishing for this outcome, you are actively planting the seed that will eventually grow into that very reality. Imagination is the bridge between the visible and invisible worlds. What you imagine does not exist yet in the physical realm, but it exists fully in your mind. The mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. When you visualize someone thinking about you, your mind perceives that as a real event, and it begins to create the energy and emotional state that aligns with that imagined outcome. This energetic shift sends out vibrations into the universe, which influence your interactions with the people around you, and over time, the people you imagine will start to reflect the thoughts and feelings you have projected onto them. When you visualize someone constantly thinking about you, you are aligning your energy with that thought. The imagination works through emotional engagement, so it's not just enough to picture the person thinking about you, your task is to feel it. Feel the emotions of being the center of their thoughts. Feel the excitement, the warmth, the connection. This emotional connection amplifies the power of your imagination and sends out a stronger signal into the universe. This energy will then resonate with the energy of the person you have in mind, eventually attracting them to you and making them think about you more than they did before. What's even more fascinating is that the power of imagination does not require the other person's conscious participation. They don't need to know that you are imagining them thinking about you. The beauty of imagination is that it works on a level deeper than logic or reasoning. It works on the subconscious, where thoughts, feelings, and actions are influenced by invisible forces. As you focus on them thinking about you, your mental imagery is setting the stage for the subconscious mind of the other person to begin to perceive you in the exact way you've imagined. This is the magic of imagination. It allows you to influence others without their direct awareness. As you continue to imagine the outcome you desire, your own energy begins to resonate with that frequency. People are subconsciously attuned to the vibrations around them, and they are drawn to the energy you emit. This is why when you are aligned with your desires through imagination, people begin to mirror the thoughts and feelings you have been cultivating within yourself. They start thinking about you, reaching out to you, or perhaps finding reasons to connect with you more often. Imagination is also a tool for consistency. If you maintain the mental image of someone thinking about you with unwavering belief, you create a strong energetic force that cannot be easily disrupted. Just as a magnet pulls metal objects toward it, the energy you project through your consistent imagination draws people toward your thoughts. The more you engage with this imagination, the stronger its influence becomes. The power of imagination works in tandem with the law of attraction. The more vividly you imagine someone thinking about you, the more likely it is that this scenario will begin to unfold in your life. It is not enough to simply imagine them thinking about you. Once you must nurture the thought regularly and allow yourself to experience the emotions of it fully. In doing so, you create a powerful energetic frequency that acts as a beacon, guiding that person's thoughts toward you. Through imagination, you are not just hoping or wishing for someone to think about you, you are actively creating the conditions for them to do so. When you use your imagination in this way, you step into a place of power, knowing that you are shaping your reality through your thoughts and emotions. The more you embrace this power, the more you will see the world around you responding to the energy you are sending out. By imagining that someone cannot stop thinking about you, you are planting the seed that will grow into a reality where their thoughts are indeed consumed by you. To make others think about you non-stop, the first step is to focus on yourself. This may sound counterintuitive, but the truth is, the more you nurture and strengthen your inner confidence, self-worth, and uniqueness, the more you create an energy that others are naturally drawn to. The key is to first become irresistible in your own eyes. When you are fully aligned with your own self-esteem and radiate a sense of fulfillment and purpose, the world around you cannot help but reflect that energy. Others will begin to perceive you in the same light that you perceive yourself, and they will start thinking about you constantly. Confidence is the foundation of this process. When you believe in your own value and capabilities, you project an energy that makes you magnetic to others. Confidence is not about being perfect or always having the right answers, but about being comfortable in your own skin. It's about knowing who you are, accepting your strengths and weaknesses, and owning your worth without seeking validation from others. When you cultivate this inner confidence, you no longer need approval or attention to feel good about yourself. Instead, you radiate an energy that naturally attracts others because they can sense that you are at peace with who you are. Self-worth plays an equally important role in this process. It is impossible to attract the attention of others if you do not value yourself first. The way you perceive yourself is the way others will perceive you. If you see yourself as worthy of love, success, and respect, others will mirror that perception and treat you accordingly. On the other hand, if you struggle with feelings of inadequacy or doubt, you may unintentionally push people away or fail to command the attention you desire. Cultivating self-worth means recognizing your intrinsic value, regardless of external circumstances. When you build this foundation of self-love and self-respect, others cannot help but see you in the same light, and their thoughts will naturally be drawn to you. Uniqueness is another key factor in becoming irresistible. The most captivating people are those who are unapologetically themselves. When you embrace your individuality and express it freely, you set yourself apart from the crowd. Trying to fit in or conform to others' expectations will only diminish your magnetism. But when you confidently display your unique traits, interests, and passions, you become someone that others cannot stop thinking about. People are attracted to authenticity because it offers something real and refreshing in a world full of imitation. When you stand out by being your true self, others will naturally be intrigued by your energy and want to know more about you. As you focus on cultivating these qualities within yourself, something remarkable begins to happen. You start to radiate an energy that others are subconsciously drawn to. People are highly attuned to the energy around them, and when you project confidence, self-worth, and authenticity, you create a magnetic field that pulls others toward you. This is not about manipulation or force, it's about aligning with your true essence and letting that energy do the work for you. You no longer need to chase attention or approval, because your energy will naturally attract it. When you focus on yourself first, you create a solid foundation of inner strength that gives you the ability to withstand any external challenges or doubts. You are no longer dependent on others for validation or happiness. Instead, you find fulfillment within yourself, and this sense of completeness makes you even more attractive. People are drawn to those who are self-sufficient and emotionally secure, as they offer a sense of stability and confidence that is hard to resist. As you continue to build this inner foundation, you will notice that others start reflecting the energy you put out. They will begin to think about you more often, drawn by the magnetic energy you exude. They will want to be around you, connect with you, and share in the vibrancy that you radiate. The more you focus on your own growth and self-love, the more others will mirror that energy and be captivated by your presence. The most powerful way to make others think about you non-stop is to become someone who cannot stop thinking about themselves in the most positive and empowering way. When you take the time to nurture your confidence, self-worth, and uniqueness, you not only transform your own life, but you also create an irresistible presence that others are naturally drawn to. By focusing on yourself first, you align your energy with the law of attraction, and others will reflect the beauty and power you have cultivated within. To bring your desires into reality, you must learn to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. This means feeling the emotions of your desired outcome as if it has already occurred. When it comes to making someone think about you non-stop, the key lies in fully immersing yourself in the emotion of them already being preoccupied with you. Your emotions are powerful forces that influence your vibrational energy, and by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the energy that will draw that person into your thoughts and ultimately into your presence. Emotion is the driving force behind manifestation. When you feel the emotions associated with your desire, you send out a vibrational frequency that the universe responds to. The feeling of the wish fulfilled is not simply about imagining the outcome, it's about experiencing the emotions of that outcome as if it is happening right now. This shift in energy has the power to attract the very thing you desire. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are sending out a magnetic vibration that draws people and circumstances into your life that match your emotional state. Imagine for a moment that the person you want to think about you non-stop is already thinking about you. You can feel their thoughts on you, the curiosity they have, the way they are drawn to you. Now imagine how that feels, how it fills you with a sense of excitement, happiness, or even anticipation. These feelings are not just fleeting emotions, they are energy frequencies that align with the law of attraction. When you allow yourself to truly feel as if the person is consumed with thoughts of you, you are matching the energy that will pull them toward you. This emotional state is incredibly powerful. Your feelings emit vibrations that extend beyond your physical body. You may not see it with your eyes, but your energy affects everything around you. When you dwell in the emotional state of your desire being fulfilled, you are unconsciously sending out signals to the universe and to that person that you are already living in the reality you wish to create. The more you feel the emotions as though they are happening right now, the more magnetic you become to the other person. The emotional vibration you send out is not bound by logic or reasoning. It does not require the other person to be consciously aware of your feelings or thoughts. You don't need to take any specific actions or manipulate situations. All you need to do is assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and allow the universe to work on your behalf. By deeply immersing yourself in the emotions of the desired outcome, you become a magnet to the energy you seek, and people begin to respond to that vibration. The power of this process lies in your ability to surrender to the emotions and let go of any doubts or resistance. Often people try to force outcomes or become overly focused on how things will happen. But this need for control only creates friction in the manifestation process. Instead, the key is to feel the emotion as if it has already come to pass and trust that the universe will align the circumstances to make it so. When you let go of the need to control, you create space for the natural flow of energy to bring your desires to fruition. Feeling the emotions of the wish fulfilled also helps to remove any sense of lack or desperation. When you feel that the person is already thinking about you non-stop, there is no urgency or need to chase them. Instead, you create a sense of calm and certainty within yourself, knowing that your energy is already working to pull them into your reality. This emotional state creates a powerful alignment with the law of attraction, drawing the person to you without you having to take any overt action. They begin to think about you because your energy is vibrating at a frequency that matches the outcome you desire. The emotional vibration you generate has a ripple effect that impacts the world around you. People are naturally attuned to emotions and energies, and when you emit a strong emotional frequency of already being thought about, they cannot help but respond to it. They may not consciously understand why they are thinking about you, but on a deeper level, they are being magnetized by the energy you are putting out. The key to attracting the thoughts and attention of others is to let go of neediness. When you stop desperately seeking validation or approval, something profound happens. You become magnetic. This shift is subtle yet powerful. Neediness is rooted in a sense of lack and insecurity. And when you operate from this space, you send out a vibration of desperation. People can sense this energy, and instead of being drawn to you, they may feel repelled or disconnected. However, when you release this need for validation, you tap into an inner peace and power that naturally draws others in. Neediness is often driven by a fear of not being enough or not being seen. It arises from the belief that we are incomplete unless others recognize or acknowledge us. But this belief is a trap. The truth is, we are complete and whole as we are. When you realize this, you stop seeking external validation to feel good about yourself. Instead, you turn inward and recognize your inherent worth, regardless of whether or not others affirm it. Releasing neediness begins with cultivating self-love and acceptance. When you love yourself deeply, you no longer seek approval from the outside world. You know your value, and you no longer need anyone to confirm it. This kind of inner confidence radiates outwards and affects everyone you interact with. People are naturally drawn to those who are secure in their own sense of self, and when you stop trying to prove yourself, you become an irresistible force. Neediness also often stems from a sense of fear and lack. When you are afraid that you won't get what you want or that others won't think about you, you unconsciously project a sense of lack. This energy of fear and desperation repels others, as it creates an atmosphere of tension and anxiety. When you let go of these fears, you begin to cultivate an energy of abundance and certainty. You no longer feel that you need anything from anyone because you are already whole and complete. This sense of peace and self-sufficiency is magnetic. People are drawn to it because they subconsciously sense that you are someone who has a deep connection with your own power. And that is something they want to be around. When you stop trying too hard to attract attention, you create space for others to come to you. People are often most attracted to those who are at ease, who don't appear to be trying to impress or manipulate others. It's the people who exude confidence and serenity, who aren't overly concerned with the opinions of others, who are the most captivating. When you stop pushing for validation, you naturally begin to attract positive attention and energy from those around you. The energy of neediness is draining, not only for you but also for those around you. Constantly seeking approval or attention can create a sense of discomfort in others, as they may feel the pressure of your expectations. This dynamic can create an unhealthy attachment where you are always looking for the next source of validation. But when you let go of the need to please others or to have them constantly thinking about you, you create a sense of freedom within yourself and in your relationships. This freedom is contagious. Others will begin to feel at ease in your presence because they don't sense the weight of your expectations. It's also important to recognize that the desire to be constantly thought about is not necessarily rooted in healthy self-esteem. True self-confidence is not about having everyone's attention, it's about being secure enough in yourself that you don't need external validation to feel complete. When you are not attached to the idea of being constantly on someone's mind, you release the pressure of needing their attention to feel worthy. This shift allows you to tap into a deeper level of attraction that is rooted in self-assurance, authenticity, and peace. When you release neediness, you attract people who are genuinely interested in you, rather than people who are simply responding to the energy of desperation. The right people will be drawn to your true essence, not to the false energy that comes from seeking constant validation. This makes your connections with others more meaningful and authentic. You begin to form relationships based on mutual respect and genuine interest, rather than on the need for approval. Letting go of neediness is the key to attracting the thoughts and attention of others. When you stop trying so hard and release the need for validation, you tap into an energy of inner peace, confidence, and authenticity. This energy is magnetic and naturally draws others to you. People are attracted to those who are secure in themselves, and when you cultivate this inner peace, you will find that others will be drawn to you in ways that are effortless and natural. By letting go of neediness, you allow the universe to bring to you the attention and connection you truly deserve. In conclusion, the journey of attracting the thoughts and attention of others is rooted in the power of inner peace, self-confidence, and emotional alignment. When you stop trying so hard, release neediness, and assume the feeling of your desired outcome, you become a magnetic force. By focusing on yourself first, cultivating your inner worth, and trusting the universe, you align with the energy that draws others naturally into your life. Remember, the key is to stop chasing and instead let your energy do the work. You are already worthy. And when you step into this truth, everything you desire will begin to manifest effortlessly. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and may you move forward with confidence, knowing that the thoughts and attention of others are already on their way to you. Have you ever looked back at a year and felt like it was wasted? Maybe things didn't go as planned, or you faced unexpected struggles, and it felt like you were stuck in a cycle that never moved forward. But what if I told you that, even after all the challenges, your year isn't wasted? That the difficulties you faced are not setbacks, but a prelude to something greater. This video is for those who have gone through trials, endured the unknown, and wonder if there's hope for recovery. Today we are going to talk about 7 signs that God is about to restore your wasted year. God doesn't work in the way we expect or within the timelines we set for ourselves. He is working behind the scenes even when we can't see it. Restoration isn't just about turning back time, it's about redeeming what's been lost and positioning you for something better than you imagined. This is not about waiting for things to happen, it's about recognizing the signs and stepping into the truth of what is already on its way. Let's dive into these 7 signs and unlock the powerful transformation God is about to bring into your life. You're standing in the midst of a storm. Everything around you feels like chaos. Your dreams, your hopes, even your plans seem shattered. But deep within you, there's a quiet stirring. It's a knowing, not a belief, but a deep certainty that the storm will pass, and what follows will be greater than what came before. For the longest time, you may have felt as though the year slipped away, like you missed out on opportunities and your life is stuck in neutral. But here's the truth: nothing is ever truly wasted in the divine plan. What may appear to be wasted time is often preparation for something far greater than you can imagine. You see, God works in ways that transcend our understanding of time. While we're caught up in the ticking of the clock, He is orchestrating a much grander masterpiece. And right now there are signs all around you that God is about to restore what was once lost. Maybe you've been struggling in your career, your relationships, or your spiritual walk. Maybe the past year feels like it was marked by frustration and unmet expectations. But what if this is the moment when everything begins to shift? What if the things you thought were wasted were actually the building blocks of your future? I want you to stay with me for a moment longer, because what I'm about to share could change your perspective forever. You're about to see that the struggles you faced, the setbacks, and the hardships were not in vain. They were part of a divine preparation, and what's coming next is something far greater than you could have ever imagined. The signs are everywhere, you just need to be able to see them. Are you ready to discover these signs? Are you ready to understand the hidden messages that have been placed before you? Let's look at the 7 signs that God is about to restore what you thought was a wasted year. You've likely experienced the feeling that something is shifting within you, a desire for change that you can't quite explain but can't ignore either. It's as if the life you've been living is no longer enough, as though your soul is calling for something more, something better. This yearning can be unsettling, even confusing at times, because it feels like a disruption in your current reality. But what if this growing desire for change isn't random? What if it's not just a fleeting thought, but a divine sign that God is preparing you for something greater. Often when people find themselves feeling stuck, they question why their circumstances seem so difficult. But a deep internal desire for change is not just about dissatisfaction, it's a sign of transformation in the making. This desire may have been building for weeks, months, or even years. You might have been living in the same routine, experiencing the same struggles, yet something inside of you began to stir. It started as a thought, maybe a whisper, something small like there has to be more to life than this. And then it began to grow louder. Soon you can't ignore it anymore. It's a craving for a better life, for something deeper and more meaningful. What you're experiencing is a divine push, a subtle yet powerful call to move beyond your current situation. This desire for change is the first sign that God is preparing you for restoration. He is placing within you the urge to move forward, to reach beyond the limits that you've placed on yourself, and to break free from the patterns that have kept you stagnant. The desire isn't there to frustrate you, it's there to inspire you to take the next step into the life you've been created for. As you begin to notice this inner urge, you may feel fear or uncertainty. After all, change can be intimidating. The familiar comfort of your current circumstances, even if they're not ideal, can feel safe compared to the unknown. But this desire for change is an invitation to trust that God is leading you to something far better. It's as if He's softly nudging you forward, encouraging you to step out of your comfort zone, to leave behind the limitations of your past, and to embrace a future full of possibility. Perhaps up until now you've been held back by past disappointments, failures, or heartbreaks. These past events may have left you feeling stuck, as if the years have slipped away without much to show for them. But when you begin to feel that increasing desire for change, it's a sign that you're no longer bound by the past. God is preparing you to let go of old wounds, old habits, and even old relationships that no longer serve you. The desires within your heart are God's way of calling you to move forward, to step into the next chapter of your life with faith and anticipation. This desire for change can also come in the form of dissatisfaction with your current circumstances. Maybe you're tired of feeling unfulfilled in your work, or perhaps you're longing for a deeper sense of peace in your relationships. Maybe you're feeling disconnected from your spiritual path, or like your personal growth has plateaued. All of these feelings are part of the divine process of preparation. They're not signs that something is wrong with you, but that God is stirring within you a desire to grow, to evolve, and to reach higher. These feelings are signs that you are ready for a shift. Your soul is awakening to the next phase of your journey. God is never inactive in our lives, even when we don't see it. The growing desire for change that you feel is His way of guiding you. He knows exactly what you need, even when you don't. This desire isn't random, it's intentional. It's God calling you to step into a life that's more aligned with your purpose, a life that reflects your true potential. You may not have all the answers now, but trust that this deep desire for change is the beginning of something new. It's a signal that God is about to restore what you thought was wasted time, and He's preparing you to walk into a season of fulfillment and abundance. As you honor this inner calling and allow it to guide you, be assured that the change you seek is already on its way. It might not come in the way you expect, and it might require you to step into the unknown, but remember that God is leading you. He is restoring what has been lost, and through this desire for change, He is preparing you to embrace the abundant life He has already planned for you. The journey ahead might seem uncertain, but with faith in the process and trust in the divine timing, you will soon see that this desire for change was the spark that ignites your restoration. There comes a point in every person's life when everything seems to shift, often without warning, as if something deep within you has been unlocked. One day you find that your thinking has changed, and your perspective on life has suddenly expanded. It's a sudden shift in your mindset, a transformation that can feel both subtle and dramatic. What once felt impossible now seems achievable, and where you once saw obstacles, you begin to notice opportunities. You find yourself thinking differently, feeling differently, and seeing your circumstances in a whole new light. This is not mere coincidence, it's a sign that God is working in your life, preparing you for the restoration you've been waiting for. When this shift happens, you may not even realize it at first. It's like the fog slowly lifting after a long dark period. You wake up one morning with a sense of clarity, as if you've broken free from the chains of your old way of thinking. Suddenly the weight you've been carrying, fear, doubt, or a sense of defeat, begins to feel lighter. You find yourself looking forward to the future rather than dreading it. The way you view your past also changes, no longer seeing it as a collection of failures, but rather as a series of lessons that have brought you to where you are now. This change in mindset is a divine reset. It's as if God has quietly but powerfully shifted your perception, allowing you to see things from a higher perspective. You begin to realize that your life is not defined by the mistakes you've made or the things you've lost, but by the possibilities that lie ahead. This shift changes everything: how you approach your goals, your relationships, and even your day-to-day thoughts. What was once a source of frustration or hopelessness now feels like a stepping stone toward your future success. You might start noticing that your thoughts are more aligned with the life you desire to create. Where once you believed that your circumstances were limiting you, now you see the potential for growth and change. The job you've been dreaming about, the relationships you've longed for, or the financial freedom you thought was unattainable now seem like real possibilities. The shift in your mindset allows you to see the abundance around you, even in the midst of challenges. You begin to understand that your thoughts are powerful, and by aligning them with your desires, you can manifest the life you've always wanted. This is also when you begin to feel more empowered. Where fear and doubt once reigned, now confidence and faith take their place. You may even find yourself thinking, "I can do this. I am capable. I am worthy of all that is good in this world." It's as if you've stepped into a new version of yourself, one that has shed the old limiting beliefs and embraced the truth of your potential. This is not just a mental shift, it's a spiritual awakening. You're moving from a mindset of lack and limitation to one of abundance and possibility. God is always working behind the scenes, and often He works by transforming our minds. The sudden shift you're experiencing is a sign that He's clearing the way for your restoration. He is helping you to see beyond the circumstances of today and into the future He has planned for you. As your mindset shifts, you begin to align more closely with His will for your life. You understand that the challenges you faced weren't meant to break you, but to refine you. Your trials have prepared you for this moment of clarity, this moment of awakening. You'll also notice that the things that once triggered you or caused you to react negatively no longer have the same power over you. Whether it's criticism, failure, or loss, these things no longer hold you back. You're able to view them with a sense of detachment, as temporary experiences on your journey, rather than permanent markers of your worth. With this newfound mindset, you become more resilient, more capable of handling the ups and downs of life without losing your peace or sense of direction. This shift in thinking is not just a fleeting feeling. It is the beginning of a new way of life. It marks the moment when your thoughts and beliefs begin to align with the reality that God is restoring in your life. What once felt out of reach now feels possible. What you once doubted now feels certain. This is a sign that the time of restoration is upon you, and you are stepping into a new season where all things are being made new. As you navigate through life, there comes a time when struggles seem to surround you from every direction. Life may not be going according to plan, and the weight of adversity can feel overwhelming. But amid these struggles, there is a profound shift that can occur. You begin to see opportunities where once you only saw obstacles. This shift is not something you can always control, yet it is often the first sign that restoration is about to unfold in your life. What once seemed like insurmountable challenges now start to look like stepping stones to a new, brighter future. In the past, when faced with adversity, you may have focused solely on the difficulty of the situation. The fear of failure, the uncertainty of the outcome, and the emotional toll of dealing with challenges often overshadowed the potential for growth that lay beneath. But now, as you face new struggles, you start to see things differently. The roadblocks that once seemed like dead ends now reveal paths you hadn't noticed before. You begin to realize that your struggles are not just burdens to bear, they are opportunities to grow, to learn, and to push beyond your current limitations. This shift is profound. Instead of becoming paralyzed by fear or discouragement, you start to approach challenges with curiosity and determination. You begin to see every difficulty as a chance to improve, a lesson waiting to be discovered. Whether it's a financial setback, a job loss, a personal conflict, or even a health issue, you now have the perspective to see the potential hidden within the struggle. This is the beginning of God's restoration in your life. He is opening your eyes to the possibilities that are often hidden behind the veil of hardship. With this new perspective, you may begin to notice how your struggles are aligning with your purpose. The experiences that once seemed like random misfortunes now seem to be part of a greater plan. Perhaps a job loss leads to a new opportunity that better suits your skills and passions. A failed relationship might teach you valuable lessons about self-love and boundaries, preparing you for a healthier partnership in the future. Even health challenges may push you to take better care of yourself and discover new ways to improve your overall well-being. What once felt like a series of unfortunate events now begins to feel like a series of divine interventions guiding you to a higher purpose. As you begin to see opportunities in the midst of struggles, you also start to attract new possibilities into your life. Your mindset becomes magnetic, drawing in the right people, the right circumstances, and the right experiences that support your growth. It's as if the universe is conspiring to align with your new way of thinking, and God is opening doors that were once closed. You begin to see that the struggles of your past were not wasted years, but were, in fact, preparing you for the abundant life that lies ahead. As you journey through life, there comes a time when your faith is tested in ways you never anticipated. These moments of testing often come when you least expect them, when everything seems to be falling apart, and you are left with nothing but uncertainty. But it is in these moments of trial and struggle that your faith begins to grow in ways it never could have before. It is as if you are being refined through the fire, being shaped into the person you were always meant to be, but in ways that demand your full trust and belief in something greater than yourself. When faith is tested, it often feels as if the ground beneath you is shaking. Things you once held onto firmly, your plans, your comfort, your understanding, begin to slip away. You are asked to trust in the unseen, to have faith in something beyond the immediate circumstances. It is a place of surrender, where you are no longer in control of the outcome, and the future feels uncertain. But this is exactly where growth happens. It is in these moments of vulnerability that your faith is stretched, tested, and ultimately strengthened. This testing can come in many forms. Perhaps it's a sudden loss, whether it be a loved one, a job, or a relationship that leaves you questioning everything. Or maybe it's a financial struggle that seems endless, a period where you wonder how you'll ever make it through. There are times when it feels as if the odds are stacked against you, and your faith is all that you have left. But even in these moments of doubt and fear, there is a deeper work being done within you. When your faith is tested, it forces you to confront your deepest beliefs and your true reliance on God. You may begin to ask yourself hard questions. Do I truly trust that everything will work out? Am I willing to let go of control and allow God to lead me through this storm? It's in these questions that you begin to find your answers. As you seek deeper understanding, you begin to see that faith is not just about believing when things are going well. True faith is about trusting when you have nothing but your belief in the unseen and your trust in a higher power that knows better than you what lies ahead. In these testing moments, you begin to realize that your faith is not just a passive belief but an active force. It is something that moves you, guides you, and strengthens you even in the most difficult of times. This is when your faith becomes real. It moves from a theoretical understanding to an experiential reality. As your faith is tested, you may feel a sense of discomfort, but you also feel a shift within you. You begin to understand that faith isn't just about asking for what you want or waiting for the storm to pass. It's about trusting that there is purpose in the process, and that every challenge you face is an opportunity for growth, for strengthening your belief, and for deepening your connection with God. As your faith is tested, you may also begin to see how God is using these moments to prepare you for the restoration that's about to come. You might not see it in the moment, but the testing of your faith is often the precursor to the breakthrough that lies ahead. Just as gold is refined in fire, your faith is refined through trials. It's in the moments of doubt and struggle that your character is built, your resilience is developed, and your trust in God deepens. You learn that every setback is not a failure but a lesson, and each lesson is preparing you for the blessings that are about to come. In times of testing, you might also discover the power of patience. The process of faith testing often requires you to wait, to endure, and to persevere, even when you don't see immediate results. But as you endure, you learn the true nature of trust, that even when you don't see how things will work out, you trust that God has a plan for you, and that plan is always for your good. You begin to realize that the waiting period is not wasted time, but time spent strengthening your faith, building your endurance, and preparing for the restoration that is about to unfold. Through it all, your faith becomes stronger. You move from simply believing to truly knowing that God is with you, even in the darkest moments. You start to see that every trial is not an obstacle, but an opportunity for your faith to grow. And as your faith grows, you become more aligned with the truth that God is always working on your behalf, even when you cannot see it. The testing of your faith is not something to fear, but something to embrace, for it is in these moments that you are being prepared for the amazing restoration that is coming your way. In the midst of external chaos, there is a peace that transcends all understanding. It is a quiet calm that arises from within, a stillness that no external circumstance can disrupt. Life has a way of throwing storms your way, testing your limits, and challenging your sense of stability. The world around you may be filled with noise, confusion, and unrest. But there is a deep inner peace that you begin to experience when you allow your heart to trust in something greater than the external conditions. This peace is not fleeting or circumstantial. It is the peace that surpasses all understanding, anchored in the faith that everything is unfolding as it should, even when the outer world appears chaotic. As you face struggles, uncertainties, and moments of trial, you might find that despite the external noise, there is a stillness within you that cannot be shaken. It is as if the more chaos surrounds you, the more you are drawn into the quietness of your soul. This deep inner peace is a sign that something powerful is at work in your life. It is a sign that you are being prepared for the restoration that is about to come. While the world may be spinning with uncertainty, you stand firm, rooted in a place of calm and trust. This inner peace does not mean the absence of challenges or struggles. On the contrary, it often emerges in the face of great adversity. It is in those moments when the world seems to be unraveling that you discover a sense of peace that has nothing to do with your circumstances. It is as though, in the midst of it all, you realize that you are not bound by what happens around you. You are grounded in a deeper truth, one that assures you that no matter how loud the storm becomes, you are anchored in something unshakable. What's remarkable about this peace is that it cannot be created by external circumstances. You can't force it or manufacture it through your own efforts. It is a gift that comes when you allow yourself to surrender to the present moment, trusting that the universe, or God, is in control. You might find that you no longer feel the need to control every situation or worry about every detail of your life. Instead, you trust that things are unfolding as they should, even when you cannot see the full picture. You realize that everything, even the chaotic moments, is working together for your highest good. This inner peace also teaches you the value of letting go. When the world is in turmoil, it is easy to become swept up in the anxiety and fear that surrounds you. But as you begin to experience this deep peace, you understand that there is no benefit in clinging to control or trying to change things that are beyond your influence. You learn to release the need for certainty and instead lean into the trust that everything will be okay. This act of surrender is liberating, and it is in that freedom that peace is found. You also begin to realize that this peace is a reflection of your trust in a divine plan. The more you trust in the unseen, the more you experience peace in the midst of adversity. When you let go of your need for control and trust that there is a higher purpose to everything, you start to see that your trials are not obstacles, but opportunities for growth. You start to recognize that each challenge is a stepping stone toward the restoration that is unfolding in your life. Even when things look uncertain, you trust that there is something greater at work, and that knowledge allows you to remain calm amidst the storm. As you continue to embrace this inner peace, you become more resilient to the chaos around you. The storms of life may still come, but they no longer have the power to rattle you in the way they once did. Your peace becomes a shield, protecting you from the anxiety and stress that the world tries to impose on you. You learn to navigate life with a sense of calm, knowing that no matter what happens, you are held, supported, and guided by a higher power. This inner peace also radiates outwards, influencing the people and situations around you. When you are calm and centered, you become a source of peace for others. Your presence becomes a reminder that no matter how loud the world gets, there is always a place of stillness within. In this peace you are restored, and you are able to restore others. The more you cultivate this peace within yourself, the more you create space for it to expand into every area of your life. In the face of outer chaos, your deep inner peace is a clear sign that God is at work in your life, preparing you for something greater. It is a sign that the restoration of your wasted years is underway, and that peace is one of the first fruits of that divine restoration. As you hold on to this peace, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are becoming a beacon of hope and calm for the world around you. As you go through life, there comes a time when new people begin to enter your life, people who seem to show up just when you need them most. These new connections, whether they are friendships, romantic relationships, or professional acquaintances, carry with them the potential for growth, healing, and transformation. At first, these encounters might feel coincidental, but as you reflect on them, you begin to realize that they are part of a divine plan, a carefully orchestrated unfolding meant to guide you toward your next chapter. What makes these new relationships so significant is that they often show up during periods of transition. Perhaps you are emerging from a time of personal struggle, and these people arrive to help guide you into the next phase of your journey. Or maybe you've been seeking a deeper connection with others, and the universe is answering that desire by bringing the right individuals into your life. These people come not by accident, but because they are meant to play a role in your growth and your restoration. New relationships can feel like a breath of fresh air. They provide you with perspectives, experiences, and opportunities that you may not have encountered before. These new people may challenge your beliefs, push you to grow in ways you didn't expect, and open doors that lead to paths you hadn't considered. They introduce you to new ideas, new environments, and new ways of thinking that broaden your understanding of the world. These relationships, whether fleeting or long-lasting, become a catalyst for your transformation. One of the most powerful aspects of encountering new people is the sense of renewal they bring. Relationships have a unique ability to heal, especially when they offer a fresh start or a clean slate. Perhaps you've been carrying emotional baggage from past relationships, wounds that have held you back from fully embracing love, trust, or connection. But as these new people come into your life, they offer you a chance to begin again. They allow you to experience love and friendship without the weight of old expectations or disappointments. In many ways, they offer a clean slate, a new beginning that allows you to heal and grow from the inside out. These new relationships also have a way of awakening parts of you that you may have forgotten about. The people you encounter may bring out qualities in you that have lain dormant for a long time: creativity, joy, passion, or even strength. As you interact with them, you may find yourself rediscovering parts of your own identity that were hidden or overshadowed by past experiences. These people reflect back to you the potential you have within, and through their support and love, you begin to see yourself in a new light. You may begin to believe in yourself again, to trust that there is still so much more for you to experience and achieve. These relationships are not always easy, but they are always purposeful. Not every person who enters your life is meant to stay forever, but each one plays a significant role in your journey. Some relationships come as teachers, pushing you to confront old patterns, heal deep wounds, and step into a higher version of yourself. Others arrive as companions, providing comfort, support, and love during difficult times. Some may offer opportunities for growth, pushing you out of your comfort zone, while others provide stability, grounding you when life feels uncertain. The beauty of new relationships is that they allow you to be seen for who you truly are. In these fresh connections, there is no past judgment or history. You are not defined by your mistakes, your failures, or your past struggles. You are given the space to show up as your authentic self, free from the constraints of previous relationships or identities. This openness allows you to form deeper, more genuine connections that are based on who you are in the present moment, not on who you used to be. As you encounter new people, you begin to understand that you are not alone in this journey. You are surrounded by a community of souls who are all on their own paths of growth and transformation. These people may come from different walks of life, but their presence in your life is a reminder that you are connected to something larger than yourself. You begin to see that every encounter, no matter how brief, has the potential to teach you something valuable. The more you embrace these new relationships, the more you realize that they are part of a larger process of restoration, helping you heal, grow, and move forward into a life that is richer, fuller, and more aligned with your true purpose. In encountering new people and relationships, you also start to recognize the power of divine timing. These connections come into your life at the right time, when you are ready to receive them. They are not forced, rushed, or artificial. They emerge naturally, as if they were always meant to be. This understanding of divine timing helps you relax and trust in the process, knowing that every relationship you encounter is part of a greater unfolding that is leading you toward your restoration. These new people are not only helping you heal, but they are also helping you align with your higher self and your divine purpose. As you move forward, these relationships will continue to shape, support, and guide you on your journey to restoration and transformation. When you look back on your past, it's easy to see your failures as something negative or as moments of regret. These failures might have been painful, discouraging, or disappointing, and it's natural to feel disheartened by them. However, if you shift your perspective, you begin to see that these past failures are not roadblocks, but stepping stones that are preparing you for something greater. They are lessons disguised as challenges, each one carrying with it valuable wisdom that you can use to navigate your future. Every failure you've encountered holds within it a lesson that can help you avoid the same pitfalls in the future. These lessons are not always immediately clear, and sometimes it takes time for their full significance to unfold. But when you start to view your failures through the lens of growth and possibility, you begin to realize that they were never meant to hold you back. They were meant to teach you how to move forward more wisely, more powerfully, and more equipped to face the future. Your past failures are like the training ground for your success. Think of them as the test that prepared you for the bigger challenges ahead. If you were to achieve success without experiencing failure, you would miss the invaluable insights that only come from falling down, getting up, and learning along the way. Failures force you to reassess your approach, your beliefs, and your strategies. They teach you resilience, patience, and the importance of persistence. Each setback forces you to adjust, learn, and grow, which is precisely what makes you stronger. When you embrace the lessons within your failures, you also develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. You begin to understand your own patterns, behaviors, and thought processes, and you can see where you went wrong in the past. This awareness allows you to make better choices moving forward. You become more attuned to the signals of life and the choices you need to make, so you can avoid repeating the same mistakes. In this way, your past failures become invaluable guides on your journey, showing you where you can improve, where you need to change, and where you have already succeeded. As you learn from your past failures, you also learn to release the guilt or shame that may have been attached to them. Instead of carrying the weight of regret, you begin to view your mistakes with compassion and understanding. You realize that they were a necessary part of your journey, not something to be ashamed of. When you accept that failure is an inevitable part of life, you release the fear of it, and in doing so, you free yourself from the paralysis that fear can cause. You become empowered by the knowledge that failure is not final. It is simply a part of the process, a lesson that brings you closer to your ultimate goal. What's truly transformative is the shift in mindset that occurs when you see your past failures as lessons for the future. You start to approach life differently. Rather than fearing failure, you embrace it as a tool for growth. You take risks, try new things, and push yourself beyond your comfort zone, knowing that if you stumble along the way, you will learn something valuable. You become more willing to fail because you understand that with each failure, you are one step closer to success. As you gain wisdom from your past, you begin to develop an unshakable faith in your ability to overcome obstacles. You no longer see setbacks as signs of your incompetence or inadequacy. Instead, you see them as opportunities to refine your skills, deepen your character, and gain clarity. This faith in your ability to learn from the past enables you to approach future challenges with confidence and poise. You no longer fear the unknown because you know that no matter what happens, you will emerge wiser and more capable. Your past failures also provide you with a unique perspective that can benefit others. As you share your journey with others, you are able to offer guidance and insight based on the lessons you've learned through your own struggles. Your experiences become a source of strength not only for you, but for those who are navigating similar challenges. You become a beacon of hope for others, showing them that failure is not something to be feared, but something that can be used to propel them toward their own success. Your past failures are not a sign of defeat, but a testament to your perseverance, growth, and resilience. Each lesson learned is a building block that lays the foundation for your future. The wisdom gained from those experiences will guide you, help you make better decisions, and give you the strength to face whatever comes your way. When you understand that failure is an essential part of the journey, you begin to embrace life fully, knowing that every experience, whether it is a success or a failure, has something valuable to teach you. You can let go of the past and move forward with renewed faith and confidence, ready to create a future that is shaped by the lessons of your past. There are moments in life when everything seems to align perfectly, as though the universe or a higher power is guiding you step by step. This sense of divine timing, though often subtle, can be one of the most profound experiences you'll ever have. It's the feeling that things are happening for a reason, at exactly the right moment, and that all the events in your life, both big and small, are unfolding in a way that is meant to bring you closer to your true purpose. Divine timing isn't something that can be forced or rushed. It operates on its own schedule, one that often defies human logic or understanding. At times, it may feel as though you've been waiting forever for a breakthrough or a shift in your circumstances, but then out of nowhere, everything falls into place at once. This often comes after a period of uncertainty or struggle, when you begin to question whether things will ever change. But when the right opportunities or the right people appear, you realize that every delay, every challenge, and every waiting period was necessary for this moment to happen. The beauty of divine timing lies in its ability to show you that you're exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't seem that way at first. You may have spent years working toward a goal, only to have it feel out of reach or unattainable. But when the time is right, it arrives not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. This sense of timing is not just about the external world coming together, but also about your internal alignment. It's a feeling of being in sync with life, a sense that you are finally on the path you were meant to walk, at the precise time you were meant to walk it. When divine timing operates in your life, it often leads to a deep sense of peace and trust. It allows you to release the pressure of trying to control everything and embrace the flow of life. Instead of forcing things to happen or worrying about what comes next, you start to trust that what is meant for you will come to you in due time. You begin to understand that timing is everything, and that there is no need to rush, because life is unfolding exactly as it should. This trust in divine timing also brings a sense of freedom. It frees you from the constant need to strive and struggle, believing that you must do everything yourself to make things happen. Instead, you begin to surrender to the process, knowing that there are forces at work beyond your understanding. When you let go of the need to control the outcome, you find that the universe works in your favor, presenting you with opportunities, connections, and experiences that you might not have even imagined. Divine timing often reveals itself through synchronicities, those moments when seemingly unrelated events come together in a way that feels purposeful and meaningful. You may meet someone at exactly the right moment who opens a door for you, or you may come across a piece of information that suddenly makes everything clear. These moments feel like magic, and they are a direct reflection of the divine timing at play in your life. You begin to notice the subtle signs and signals that indicate you are exactly where you need to be, and that everything is unfolding as it should. The most important thing about experiencing divine timing is that it requires patience and faith. The waiting period can be challenging, especially when you are unsure of when or how things will shift. But during these times, the key is to trust the process. Every setback, every delay, every moment of uncertainty is part of the journey. It's preparing you for the breakthrough that's coming. And when it does arrive, it will feel as though the timing was absolutely perfect. Divine timing also teaches you the power of letting go of expectations. When you release the need for things to happen on your own timetable, you open yourself up to the unexpected blessings that life has in store for you. The more you align with this flow, the more you begin to see that everything is happening for your highest good. This deeper understanding allows you to embrace life with more grace, knowing that even in moments of hardship, divine timing is at work, guiding you toward your greatest potential. Experiencing a sense of divine timing is about embracing the idea that life is not happening to you, but with you. It's about recognizing that every moment, every encounter, and every experience is part of a much larger tapestry that is being woven with care and intention. When you begin to understand and trust this, you stop feeling rushed. Stop feeling like you're missing out, and start appreciating the perfect timing of the universe in all aspects of your life. You realize that you are never late, that you are always exactly where you need to be, and that every moment is leading you to the next great chapter of your journey. As we reflect on these signs, we come to understand that the restoration of your wasted year isn't just about the passing of time, it's about the transformative power of divine timing, faith, and personal growth. Each of the 7 signs we've explored reveals the incredible journey you're on, a journey that's guided by a higher power and infused with lessons, opportunities, and growth. Whether it's the increasing desire for change, the shift in mindset, or the newfound peace amidst chaos, every experience is aligning you with the life you've been destined to lead. It's not about how long things take or the struggles you face along the way. It's about trusting the process, embracing the lessons, and knowing that everything is happening for a reason. The restoration of your year is a reminder that the universe works in its own time, and that everything you've been through has prepared you for the abundant blessings ahead. I want to thank you for being here today, for taking the time to reflect, and for opening your heart to the message of restoration and divine timing. May this moment mark the beginning of a new chapter in your life, where everything falls into place, and you step into the fullness of your purpose. Trust that your time is now, and what is meant for you will never pass you by. Thank you. In a world where connections, love, and validation often seem just out of reach, many of us fall into the trap of chasing after what we desire. We beg for attention, write heartfelt messages, make endless calls, and pursue relationships or opportunities that slip further away the harder we try. But what if the very act of chasing is what's keeping those things from coming to us? What if the answer isn't in doing more, but in doing less? This is not about giving up, it's about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that true value, love, and success come when you align with the energy of what you want rather than exhausting yourself chasing it. Today, we're diving deep into the art of attraction through self-assurance. This isn't just theory, it's a transformation. We're discussing why you should never beg, chase, write, or call for what you desire, and how to let things flow naturally into your life. Prepare to rethink everything you've been taught about pursuing what you want. By the end of this, you'll understand why stepping back might be the most powerful move you can make. Have you ever noticed how the harder you run after something, the faster it seems to slip through your fingers? Whether it's love, success, or even a dream opportunity, the energy of desperation pushes it further away. Why? Because desperation speaks of lack, and lack never attracts abundance. Imagine for a moment a butterfly. If you chase it wildly, it flutters further and further out of your grasp. But when you sit still, calm and grounded, it might just land gently on your shoulder. That butterfly is everything you've been chasing: peace, love, opportunity, and fulfillment. And the truth is, you don't need to run after it. But here's the suspenseful part: what happens when you stop chasing, stop calling, and stop begging? Will everything fall apart? Will you lose what you desire most? Or will you discover the power you've had all along, the power to attract rather than pursue? You see, in life, the more we seek validation or chase after people and things, the more we signal to the universe that we're incomplete. We affirm that we don't have enough, and the universe responds in kind. But when we stand firm in our worth, when we act as though what we desire is already ours, something miraculous happens. Today we'll explore the profound shift that happens when you step into your own energy. Why should you let go of the compulsion to chase? How can you align yourself with the flow of what you truly desire? And most importantly, how can you reclaim your power by simply letting go of the need to beg, chase, write, or call? Stay with me as we unpack this life-changing perspective. Because once you understand this principle, you'll never approach relationships, opportunities, or desires the same way again. When you chase something, be it a person, an opportunity, or even a dream, you are, perhaps unknowingly, broadcasting a message to the universe: I don't have this. I need this. I am incomplete without this. This energy of lack doesn't inspire, attract, or manifest. Instead, it repels. Why? Because the energy of lack is rooted in fear, insecurity, and desperation. These are the vibrations that push away the very things you desire. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and shouting, I need you to love me. What does the reflection do? It doesn't embrace you, it doesn't respond with affection. It simply reflects back the energy you give it. This is life. The universe acts as that mirror, amplifying what you project. When you act out of neediness or desperation, it reflects that same energy right back to you. Chasing is an admission of doubt. It's telling yourself and the world that you don't believe you are enough on your own. But here's the truth: you are enough. Your worth isn't determined by the things or people you run after. It is intrinsic. Chasing turns you into a beggar for what you should be a ruler of. Now let's consider this. If what you desire was truly yours, would you chase it? Would a queen chase her crown, or a king beg for his throne? No. They walk with the quiet confidence that what belongs to them will find its way to them. And this isn't arrogance, it's alignment. Chasing also weakens your power. Every time you run after something, you are diverting your energy outward instead of inward. This energy, when directed inward, can build resilience, self-worth, and magnetism. When you chase, you scatter your energy, exhausting yourself in the process. But when you hold steady and focus on your own growth, you radiate an undeniable strength that draws everything you need directly to you. It's not about sitting idle or doing nothing. It's about understanding that your power doesn't lie in the pursuit. It lies in your presence. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your dignity and your voice. You declare to the universe, I am whole, I am worthy, and I trust what's mine will come. Think of the most successful, confident people you know. Do they chase? Or do they attract? Their energy is grounded in knowing, not needing. And that's where you must anchor yourself to. Stop running after life. Let life run to you. The truth is simple: you attract what you are, not what you want. If your energy is chaotic, desperate, or needy, you will draw in chaos, rejection, and resistance. But when your energy is calm, confident, and self-assured, the universe has no choice but to match that frequency. Energy is the language of the unseen. It's the force that moves people, circumstances, and opportunities toward or away from you. Think about it: when someone enters a room full of self-assurance, they don't need to shout, beg, or draw attention to themselves. Their energy speaks louder than words. People are naturally drawn to them because confidence is magnetic. Now let's apply this to your desires. If you are constantly emitting energy that screams, "I'm not enough, I don't have what I need," or "please pick me," the world responds in kind. It says, "You're right, you're not enough." But the moment you step into the energy of abundance, acting as though you already possess what you seek, you become unstoppable. This is not pretense or pretending. It's embodying the reality of your desires before they materialize. You don't wait for the world to validate your worth, you decide your worth. And the world aligns. It's the shift from being a seeker to being a receiver. Here's an analogy: imagine you're a radio. To hear a specific station, you must tune into its frequency. You can't demand the station changes to suit your current setting. The same applies to life. To attract love, success, or opportunity, you must vibrate at their frequency. You must become the energy of what you want. Energy is subtle but unmistakable. If your energy exudes confidence, self-love, and security, others feel it. They may not consciously understand it, but they will respond to it. Opportunities will find their way to you, and people will be drawn to your authenticity. This is why the energy of chasing fails. It carries the vibration of not enough. Shifting your energy doesn't mean you ignore your desires. It means you stop needing them to feel whole. When you radiate completeness, the universe responds with abundance. You attract not because you lack, but because you overflow. Remember, everything is energy. Money, love, success, these are just forms of energy. When you align with their frequency, you don't chase them, they flow to you. So step into the energy of abundance. Be the person who already has what they desire, and watch how the world transforms around you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. It is the space where clarity is born, where dignity resides, and where the greatest transformations take place. Silence is your way of saying, "I don't need to convince, beg, or chase. I know my worth and I stand firm in it." When you stop explaining yourself, stop pleading for someone's attention, and stop chasing after what seems elusive, you create a vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum. That silence you hold is a magnet. It draws attention, respect, and opportunities in ways words never could. Think about this: why do people often regret losing someone who walked away quietly, with no drama, no explanations? It's because silence demands reflection. It forces others to confront their own actions without the distraction of your words. When you stay silent, you leave no room for arguments or excuses. You create an undeniable presence that lingers long after you're gone. Silence also communicates strength. It tells the world that you are in control of your emotions, that you are not ruled by impulsive reactions. People are drawn to those who can remain composed under pressure. When you don't react, you maintain power. You let others wonder, question, and most importantly, respect you. Now consider this: how often do we ruin opportunities or relationships by saying too much? By over-explaining, over-apologizing, or over-justifying ourselves. Silence eliminates this risk. It allows you to communicate not from a place of fear, but from a place of confidence. Silence is also a form of detachment. When you stop chasing and start trusting the flow of life, you don't need to fill every space with noise. Your silence becomes a testament to your faith in yourself and the universe. It says, I trust that what's meant for me will come, and I don't need to fight for it. Silence creates mystery, and mystery is magnetic. When you're not always accessible, not always explaining yourself, people become curious. They start wondering what's behind your calm demeanor, and that curiosity draws them closer. So don't underestimate the power of silence. It's not about shutting people out, it's about knowing when to stop giving away your power. Sometimes saying nothing is the loudest message of all. Trust. Such a simple word, yet often the hardest thing to embody. To trust the process means to let go of control, to believe that everything is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't seem like it. It's about releasing the need to force outcomes, to chase, or to manipulate situations into what you think they should be. Trusting the process is the ultimate act of faith in yourself and in the universe. Think about planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, give it sunlight, and let nature take its course. Trusting the process works the same way. When you set your intention, done your part, and aligned yourself with the energy of what you want, your only job is to wait and believe. The universe, like nature, has its timing. But why is this so hard for us? Because we are wired to seek control. When things don't happen immediately, doubt creeps in. Fear takes over. We start chasing, calling, begging anything to force the outcome. But this is counterproductive. The energy of forcing disrupts the natural flow of manifestation. It's like trying to speed up a flower's bloom by pulling on its petals. You only end up destroying it. Trusting the process doesn't mean doing nothing. It means taking inspired action, then stepping back. It's about finding balance between effort and surrender. You do your part, then release the outcome. This release isn't giving up. It's a declaration of faith. It's saying, I know this will come to me because I've aligned myself with it. When you trust the process, you free yourself from the burden of anxiety. You stop overthinking, stop obsessing, and stop chasing. Instead, you create space for the universe to work its magic. Trust transforms you from a pursuer into a receiver. And here's the paradox: when you truly trust, when you no longer need something to happen, that's often when it does. Why? Because trust aligns you with abundance, not lack. It sends a clear message to the universe: I am ready. I am patient. I know it's already mine. So release the grip of control. Trust that every delay has a purpose, every rejection is redirection, and every step is leading you to exactly where you're meant to be. Faith is not just believing in the unseen, it's acting as though it's already seen. Trust the process and watch how life unfolds in your favor. The way the world treats you is a reflection of how you treat yourself. If you don't value yourself, why should anyone else? Valuing yourself means recognizing your worth without seeking external validation. It means standing firm in your boundaries, your goals, and your self-respect. When you truly value yourself, begging, chasing, writing, or calling for approval becomes irrelevant. Imagine a precious gem sitting on a pedestal. Does the gem plead for attention? No, because its value is inherent. People recognize its worth without the gem doing anything. You are that gem. The moment you realize your worth, the dynamics around you begin to shift. You attract people and opportunities that align with your self-respect. When you don't value yourself, you subconsciously teach others to undervalue you as well. Every time you overextend, apologize excessively, or compromise your dignity to gain someone's attention, you send a message: I don't believe I'm enough. But when you value yourself, you radiate a different energy. You communicate without words that you deserve respect, kindness, and effort. Valuing yourself starts with how you speak to yourself. What's the tone of your internal dialogue? Do you criticize yourself endlessly or celebrate your strengths? Self-worth begins with self-talk. The moment you replace self-doubt with self-appreciation, the external world mirrors that back to you. Now, valuing yourself doesn't mean arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. It's about recognizing that your worth doesn't depend on external achievements or relationships. It's intrinsic. When you value yourself, you stop chasing things that deplete you. You stop trying to prove your worth to those who don't see it. You understand that rejection is not a reflection of your inadequacy but a sign of misalignment. You choose to walk away from what doesn't serve you, not because you don't care, but because you care deeply about your own peace. Valuing yourself also means setting boundaries. It means saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that nourish you. It's not selfish, it's necessary. When you prioritize your well-being, you show the world that you take yourself seriously. And when you take yourself seriously, others have no choice but to follow suit. So stop waiting for others to validate your worth. Decide it for yourself. Once you value yourself fully, the need to chase, beg, or plead disappears. You become the magnet, and everything meant for you finds its way. Detachment is not about giving up on your desires. It's about releasing your grip on them. It's about understanding that your happiness, peace, and sense of self are not tied to any external person, outcome, or circumstance. Detachment is freedom from the exhausting cycle of chasing, forcing, and clinging. When you cling to something, whether it's a person, a job, or a dream, you suffocate it. Imagine holding a butterfly in your hand. If you grip it tightly, you'll crush it. But if you hold it loosely, it can rest on your palm and fly when it's ready. This is the essence of detachment. It's about holding space for what you desire without strangling it with neediness. Detachment is not indifference. It's not about saying, I don't care, it's about saying, I care, but I trust. It's the ability to want something while knowing you'll be okay without it. This doesn't diminish your desires, it strengthens your power to manifest them. Why? Because detachment shifts your energy from desperation to trust. When you detach, you stop giving power to external things. You reclaim your energy and direct it inward. You stop saying, I need this to feel complete, and start saying, I am complete as I am. This shift is profound. It liberates you from the fear of loss and opens you to the joy of possibility. Detachment also allows you to see clearly. When you're too attached, your judgment becomes clouded. You may hold on to something toxic out of fear of letting go. But detachment gives you perspective. It allows you to evaluate whether something is truly meant for you or if it's time to release it. The irony of detachment is that the moment you let go, you often receive. Why? Because attachment creates resistance. It sends a signal of lack and fear to the universe. But when you release that resistance, you create space for abundance to flow. Detachment is the ultimate act of faith. It's saying, I trust that what's meant for me will come, and I don't need to force it. Practicing detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care deeply, but without obsession. It means you pursue your goals, nurture your relationships, and live your life without tying your worth or happiness to any one thing. Detachment is not giving up, it's rising above. It's stepping into a state of being where you are no longer controlled by external circumstances. So let go of the need to control. Release the grip of fear. Trust the flow of life. When you detach, you set yourself free, and freedom is where true power resides. Confidence is the antidote to compulsion. Compulsion comes from fear of missing out, fear of rejection, fear of being forgotten. Confidence, on the other hand, comes from trust in your worth and faith in the process of life. When you operate from a place of confidence, you don't feel the need to beg, chase, write, or call. You know that what is meant for you will come to you. Confidence is not about arrogance or being loud, it's about being rooted. It's about walking into any situation knowing that you belong, not because someone else said so, but because you decided so. Confidence is the quiet power that says, I don't need to prove myself to anyone. My value speaks for itself. Think about how the most magnetic people carry themselves. They aren't the ones constantly seeking validation or approval. They aren't the ones over-apologizing or over-explaining. They move with purpose, speak with intention, and act from a place of assurance. That assurance is what draws others in. When you lack confidence, you give away your power. You let other people's opinions dictate your actions. You bend over backward to gain their approval, often at the expense of your own peace. But true confidence doesn't seek approval, it creates it. It doesn't chase after opportunities, it attracts them. Confidence is built through self-acknowledgement. Start by celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Each time you recognize your strengths, you reinforce your sense of self-worth. Confidence also grows through self-discipline. When you set goals and follow through, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. That self-trust becomes the foundation of your confidence. Compulsion, on the other hand, is chaotic. It stems from a lack of clarity and an abundance of fear. Compulsion is the frantic need to do something, to text them one more time, to call them just to make sure, to write and explain yourself again. But every compulsive action sends a message to the universe: I don't trust myself. I don't trust the process. I am desperate. Confidence allows you to step back. It lets you hold space for yourself instead of filling every void with unnecessary action. Confidence knows when to speak and when to stay silent. It knows that silence can often be more powerful than words. So choose confidence over compulsion. The next time you feel the urge to chase or force something, pause. Remind yourself that you are enough as you are. Let your confidence do the talking and watch how the world responds to your quiet power. Chasing is exhausting. It drains your energy, erodes your confidence, and places you in a position of lack. Chasing says, I need this to complete me, and that energy pushes what you want further away. But when you stop chasing and become a magnet instead, everything shifts. Becoming a magnet means aligning with your desires, not running after them. It means radiating such a strong sense of self-worth that what you seek naturally gravitates toward you. A magnet doesn't move, it pulls. It doesn't beg or plead, it attracts effortlessly. To become a magnet, you must first understand that your energy is your greatest asset. When you are grounded, confident, and in alignment with your desires, you emit a frequency that draws people and opportunities to you. This isn't magic, it's the law of resonance. Like attracts like. Becoming a magnet starts with embodying the qualities you seek. If you desire love, radiate love. If you seek success, carry yourself as if you are already successful. This isn't about pretending, it's about stepping into the version of yourself that already has what you want. When you chase, you emit desperation. That desperation repels. It's like trying to grab water with your hands. The harder you grasp, the more it slips away. But when you become a magnet, you move into a state of trust. You understand that you don't need to force anything, because what's meant for you will come to you. Being a magnet also requires boundaries. You don't let just anyone into your space. You don't settle for less than you deserve. Boundaries aren't walls, they are filters. They ensure that what enters your life aligns with your value. A magnet doesn't pull in everything, it attracts only what matches its energy. Patience is another key to magnetism. Magnets don't rush, they trust their pull. Similarly, when you're aligned with your desires, you don't need to chase after them frantically. You can wait with grace, knowing that the right opportunities are on their way. Gratitude amplifies your magnetism. When you appreciate what you already have, you signal to the universe that you're ready for more. Gratitude raises your vibration, making you a beacon for abundance. Stop chasing. Start attracting. Step into your power as a magnet and watch as the things you once ran after begin to find their way to you. Let the pull of your energy speak louder than any words or actions. In life, we often believe that effort, relentless, tireless effort, is the only path to getting what we want. But true power lies not in chasing or begging, but in trusting and becoming. When you stop writing, calling, chasing, or pleading, you shift from desperation to dignity, from scarcity to abundance. You reclaim your energy and stand rooted in your self-worth. knowing that what is meant for you will find you in its own time. Every key point we've discussed: letting go of desperation, trusting the process, valuing yourself, practicing detachment, cultivating confidence, and becoming a magnet, leads to one central truth: you are enough. The moment you internalize this truth, the need to prove yourself, chase others, or seek external validation vanishes. You realize that your energy is far too precious to waste on things or people that do not recognize your value. Closing this chapter of chasing is not an act of giving up, it's an act of rising higher. It's about choosing yourself over external approval. It's about walking away from what drains you and making space for what uplifts you. It's about trusting the flow of life, understanding that what is truly yours will never pass you by. So I urge you, don't beg, don't chase, don't write, don't call. Instead, stand in your power. Let your presence speak louder than any words ever could. Trust that the universe knows your heart and is working in your favor, even when you can't see it. As you move forward, remember this: life responds to your energy. Carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth. Hold your head high and your standards higher. Let go of anything that doesn't serve you, and trust that by doing so, you are making room for something far greater. The choice is yours, and it starts now. Will you continue chasing, or will you rise to meet the life that is waiting for you? Thank you for listening, and remember, you are enough, just as you are.
My friends, within you lies a divine gift, one so powerful that it shapes the very fabric of your existence. This gift is not something you must earn, it is your birthright, bestowed upon you by the Creator. It is the power to imagine, to believe, and to create. Today I invite you to awaken to this power and use it consciously to manifest the life you have always desired. Within every individual lies a profound and infinite power, a gift bestowed by the Creator, waiting to be acknowledged and used. This divine power is not something external to us, nor is it reserved for a select few. It is inherent in each of us, woven into the very fabric of our being. It is the force that animates life, the source from which all creation flows. To live a truly fulfilled life, one must first understand and awaken to this sacred power within. For many, this power goes unnoticed, hidden behind the veil of doubt, fear, and the distractions of daily life. It is easy to look outside ourselves for answers, seeking validation, guidance, and solutions from the external world. Yet, the truth remains that everything we seek is already within us. This divine power is the essence of who we are, and it holds the key to transforming our reality. To comprehend this power, we must first recognize its nature. It is the creative energy of imagination, the ability to think, feel, and bring forth new realities. Through our thoughts and emotions, we shape the world around us, often without realizing it. The life we live today is a reflection of our past beliefs, assumptions, and inner convictions. Whether we are conscious of it or not, this creative power is always at work, responding to the impressions we impress upon it. The divine power within is limitless. It knows no boundaries, no restrictions, and no obstacles except those we impose upon it through our doubts and limited thinking. When we understand that this power operates in alignment with our beliefs, we gain the ability to consciously direct it. This realization marks the beginning of true mastery over our lives. It is not about controlling others or external circumstances, but about mastering our inner world, the only realm over which we have complete dominion. The process of awakening to this power begins with awareness. We must become conscious of our thoughts and feelings, understanding that they are not fleeting or insignificant, but potent forces that shape our experiences. Every thought we hold, every belief we entertain, and every feeling we nurture is a seed planted in the fertile soil of the subconscious mind. Over time, these seeds grow and bear fruit in the form of our reality. Understanding this power also requires us to take responsibility for our lives. It is tempting to blame circumstances, other people, or external events for our difficulties. However, the moment we acknowledge that we are the creators of our experiences, we reclaim our power. This is not about self-blame but about empowerment. It is a recognition that, just as we may have unconsciously created unwanted circumstances, we have the ability to consciously create the life we desire. The key to activating this power lies in imagination and belief. Imagination is the workshop where reality is formed, and belief is the force that breathes life into it. When we imagine ourselves already living the life we desire and hold that image with unwavering faith, we align ourselves with the creative energy of the universe. This alignment sets into motion a series of events, circumstances, and opportunities that bring our vision into physical form. To harness this divine power, we must also cultivate a sense of trust and detachment. Once we have planted the seeds of our desires, we must release them, trusting that the power within knows the perfect way and timing to bring them to fruition. Worry and doubt are like weeds that choke the growth of our manifestations. Faith, on the other hand, nurtures them, ensuring that they flourish. The divine power within us is a reflection of the Creator's limitless love and wisdom. It is a reminder that we are not separate from the source of all creation, but expressions of it. By understanding and embracing this power, we align ourselves with the truth of who we are, spiritual beings with the ability to shape our destiny. When we awaken to this truth, life becomes a canvas upon which we can paint the masterpiece of our dreams, guided by the infinite power that resides within. The law of assumption is a profound principle that governs the creative process of life, offering a powerful method to transform your reality. This law is based on the understanding that whatever you assume to be true, regardless of its current external evidence, will manifest in your life. It reveals that your inner world of thoughts, feelings, and beliefs shapes your outer experience, making you the architect of your reality. At its core, the law of assumption invites you to adopt a mindset of certainty and conviction about the fulfillment of your desires. It is not merely about wishing or hoping for something to happen, it is about stepping into the state of already having received it. This requires a shift in consciousness, where you no longer view your desires as distant possibilities, but as present realities. The moment you embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you activate the creative power within to align your external circumstances with your inner assumption. Understanding this law begins with recognizing the creative force of your consciousness. Your thoughts and beliefs are not passive or inconsequential, they are energetic commands sent out into the universe. When you hold a belief with conviction, it impresses upon your subconscious mind, which in turn orchestrates the circumstances, events, and people needed to bring that belief into physical reality. The subconscious mind does not discriminate between what is real and imagined. It accepts as true whatever you consistently assume and feel to be true. To apply the law of assumption, you must first identify your desires with clarity. Ask yourself, what do I truly want? Once you have a clear vision, the next step is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This means imagining yourself already living in the reality where your desire is a fact. How would you feel if your wish were already realized? Would you feel joyful, peaceful, or confident? Immerse yourself in those emotions as though they were real right now. This process requires persistence and discipline. The outer world may not immediately reflect your new assumptions, but you must remain steadfast in your belief. This is where many falter, as they allow doubts, fears, or the evidence of their senses to override their assumptions. The law of assumption operates on the principle that the inner state precedes and creates the outer reality. When you persist in the assumption of your desire fulfilled, regardless of appearances, the outer world must eventually conform. An essential aspect of the law of assumption is the importance of detachment. While it is crucial to maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you must also release any obsession or desperation about the outcome. Trust that the process is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot yet see it. Detachment does not mean indifference, it means having faith in the unseen forces working on your behalf. The more you trust the process, the faster and more effortlessly your assumptions will manifest. Gratitude also plays a vital role in reinforcing your assumptions. When you feel grateful for your desires as though they have already been realized, you align yourself with the vibration of fulfillment. Gratitude amplifies the energy of your assumptions and accelerates their manifestation. It is a way of affirming to yourself and the universe that your desires are already yours. The law of assumption teaches that you are not a victim of circumstances but a creator of them. By taking control of your assumptions, you reclaim your power and transform your life. It is not a matter of waiting for things to change externally. It is about changing your inner state to match the life you wish to experience. As you master this law, you will come to realize that your desires are not random or unattainable. They are the whispers of your soul, guiding you toward the fulfillment of your highest potential. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools available to individuals seeking to shape their reality. It is the act of creating vivid mental images of a desired outcome as though it has already been achieved. By engaging the imagination with clarity and emotion, visualization becomes the blueprint through which your inner world directs and manifests the circumstances of your outer reality. It is not simply daydreaming, it is an intentional, deliberate practice that aligns your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs with your goals. At its foundation, visualization operates on the principle that the mind does not distinguish between vividly imagined experiences and actual events. The images you hold in your mind's eye are registered by your subconscious as truth, influencing your beliefs and behaviors accordingly. When you visualize with emotional intensity, you effectively program your subconscious to accept the desired outcome as reality. This creates a ripple effect, shaping your thoughts, actions, and the opportunities that come into your life to align with your vision. The process begins with clarity. Before you can visualize effectively, you must know exactly what you want to manifest. Whether it's a dream job, a loving relationship, financial freedom, or personal growth, your goal must be specific. Vague desires lead to vague results. Ask yourself, what does my ideal outcome look like? What does it feel like? The more detailed your vision, the more powerful its impact. Emotion is the fuel that brings visualization to life. It is not enough to simply see the image, you must feel the emotions associated with its realization. Joy, gratitude, excitement, and peace are powerful emotional states that amplify the effectiveness of visualization. Ask yourself, how would I feel if my dream were already a reality? Then allow yourself to dwell in that emotional state. The combination of vivid imagery and strong emotion sends a clear and potent signal to your subconscious mind, which begins working tirelessly to align your external circumstances with this inner reality. Consistency is key in visualization. A single session of imagining your desires may provide temporary motivation, but sustained practice creates lasting results. Dedicate a few minutes each day to visualize your goals. The morning and evening are ideal times, as the mind is naturally more receptive during these periods. Over time, you will notice subtle shifts in your thoughts, habits, and external environment, all aligning to bring your vision to fruition. One of the most transformative aspects of visualization is its ability to reshape your self-concept. As you repeatedly imagine yourself as the person who has achieved your goals, you begin to internalize that identity. You start to think, speak, and act in alignment with your vision. This shift in self-perception is crucial, because the world reflects who you believe you are, not merely what you want. It's important to approach visualization with faith and detachment. Faith is the confidence that your vision will manifest, even if the path to its realization is unclear. Detachment means releasing the need to control how and when your desire will come to pass. Trust that the process is unfolding perfectly, and focus on the joy of the journey rather than obsessing over the outcome. Combine visualization with action. While mental imagery is a powerful catalyst, it must be paired with inspired effort. Visualization opens doors, but you must walk through them. Trust the guidance of your intuition, which will become sharper as you align with your vision. Visualization is more than a mental exercise, it is the blueprint of your reality. By consistently imagining your desires as fulfilled, feeling the emotions of their realization, and acting in alignment with your vision, you activate the creative power within you. This practice transforms your inner world, which in turn shapes the external world to reflect your dreams. As you master this skill, you will come to realize that the life you envision is not merely a possibility, it is an inevitability waiting to be claimed. Detaching and trusting the process is a vital principle in the journey of manifesting desires. It is a practice rooted in the understanding that once you have set a clear intention, imagined your desire as fulfilled, and aligned your emotions with the outcome, your work is to release control and trust the unseen forces at play. Detachment is not about giving up or becoming indifferent, it is about releasing the grip of anxiety, impatience, and doubt while allowing the creative process to unfold naturally. The first step to detachment is recognizing that the how and when of manifestation are not your responsibility. Your role is to clearly define your desire, feel its reality within you, and align your thoughts and actions with that vision. Beyond this, the process is orchestrated by a higher intelligence, often beyond the comprehension of the conscious mind. Holding on to the need to control every detail creates resistance, which hinders the natural flow of events. True detachment requires faith, a deep, unwavering trust in the power that brings your desires to life. Detachment also involves letting go of the need for immediate results. In a world that often demands instant gratification, it can be challenging to embrace the patience required for the process to unfold. However, the timeline of manifestation is governed by perfect wisdom. Sometimes delays occur not because your desire is denied, but because the right conditions are being prepared. Trust that the universe is working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances, people, and events in ways that will ultimately serve your highest good. A key aspect of detachment is learning to focus on the present moment. When you are consumed by thoughts of the future, wondering when your desire will manifest, you disconnect from the power of the now. The present moment is where your energy is most potent and where the foundation for your manifestation is laid. By living fully in the now, appreciating the journey, and finding joy in each step, you shift your focus away from lack and into a state of gratitude and abundance. This state of being accelerates the realization of your desires. Fear and doubt are common obstacles to detachment. They arise from a lack of trust in the process, and a belief that if you do not constantly strive or worry, your desire will not materialize. However, these emotions create energetic resistance, pulling you out of alignment with your desired reality. To counteract them, cultivate a sense of trust by affirming that everything is unfolding perfectly. Surround yourself with reminders of past experiences where things worked out unexpectedly or in your favor, reinforcing your belief in the unseen hand guiding your life. Detachment also means being open to possibilities beyond what you can envision. Often the universe delivers outcomes that surpass our expectations, but this can only happen when we release rigid attachments to specific details. You trust that the creative power knows the best and most harmonious way to fulfill your desire. By letting go of preconceived notions, you allow room for miracles to occur. Another crucial element of detachment is self-assurance. When you know that you are inherently worthy and that your desires are valid, you can release the need to cling to them out of fear of loss or failure. This confidence stems from understanding that your desires are not random, they are deeply connected to your purpose and potential. Trusting yourself and the process means acknowledging that what is meant for you cannot be taken away or missed. Practices such as meditation, affirmations, and mindfulness can greatly support detachment. Meditation quiets the mind, allowing you to release attachment to specific outcomes and surrender to the flow of life. Affirmations reinforce your faith and help shift your focus away from fear and doubt. Mindfulness anchors you in the present, preventing you from becoming overly fixated on the future. Detachment is about surrender not to weakness or passivity, but to the greater wisdom that governs all creation. When you release your grip on the outcome, you free yourself from stress and align with the natural rhythm of the universe. Trust the process and allow yourself to flow with it. In doing so, you demonstrate a profound faith in the unseen forces working for you and affirm your belief in the inevitability of your desires coming to fruition. This trust, combined with detachment, creates the ideal environment for your dreams to manifest with grace and ease. Gratitude is a transformative force that amplifies the power of manifestation, unlocking a state of alignment with abundance and fulfillment. It goes beyond a mere polite acknowledgement of the good in one's life. It is a profound energy that shapes your inner world and influences the reality you experience. Gratitude acts as a bridge between desire and fulfillment, creating a fertile ground where your intentions can flourish. When practiced consciously, it shifts your focus from lack to abundance, amplifying the creative process and accelerating the realization of your desires. At its core, gratitude is an expression of appreciation for the blessings, opportunities, and experiences in your life. It is not limited to celebrating what has already materialized, but also includes giving thanks for the unseen and the yet to come. This forward-looking aspect of gratitude is particularly powerful because it signals to the subconscious mind and the universe that you already possess what you desire. In doing so, you align yourself with the emotional state of having, which is the essence of manifestation. Gratitude operates on the principle that energy flows where attention goes. When you focus on the good in your life and the blessings you seek, you amplify their presence in your reality. This is because your thoughts and emotions create a vibrational frequency that attracts similar energy. By dwelling in gratitude, you raise your vibrational state, aligning yourself with the positive outcomes you wish to experience. It is a powerful affirmation of trust and faith in the process, reinforcing the belief that life is unfolding in your favor. A significant aspect of gratitude is its ability to dissolve resistance. Often doubt, fear, and impatience create blocks in the manifestation process, pulling you out of alignment with your desires. Gratitude shifts your perspective, helping you focus on the abundance already present in your life. It replaces fear with trust and impatience with peace, fostering a state of ease and receptivity. When you are grateful, you are no longer desperate for your desires to manifest, which paradoxically allows them to flow to you more effortlessly. Gratitude also strengthens your connection to the present moment. It grounds you in a now, where the creative power resides. Often the mind becomes entangled in the future, worrying about outcomes or lamenting perceived delays. Gratitude redirects your attention to the blessings of the present, creating a sense of fulfillment that transcends time. This fulfillment is the energetic equivalent of having already achieved your desires, accelerating their manifestation. Practicing gratitude does not require grand gestures or perfect circumstances. It begins with a conscious decision to notice and appreciate the small joys and blessings in everyday life. The warmth of the sun on your face, the kindness of a stranger, or the beauty of a flower can become sources of genuine appreciation. As you cultivate gratitude for these seemingly minor experiences, you build a habit of focusing on abundance, which grows and amplifies over time. Incorporating gratitude into the manifestation process involves both reflection and anticipation. Reflective gratitude is about acknowledging and giving thanks for the good you have already received. This reinforces a sense of abundance and creates a positive feedback loop where your subconscious mind becomes attuned to recognizing and attracting more blessings. Anticipatory gratitude, on the other hand, is about feeling thankful for the fulfillment of your desires before they physically manifest. It requires imagination and faith as you vividly picture your dreams coming true and feel genuine gratitude as though they already have. Journaling is a powerful tool for cultivating gratitude. Taking a few moments each day to write down what you are grateful for reinforces a mindset of appreciation. Another effective practice is starting or ending your day with a gratitude meditation, where you focus on the things you are thankful for and visualize the fulfillment of your desires with heartfelt appreciation. These practices help reprogram your mind to seek and expect positivity and abundance. Gratitude is a dynamic force that not only amplifies the process of manifestation, but also transforms your overall experience of life. It shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance, allowing you to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It fosters resilience by reminding you of the good that exists even in challenging times. And most importantly, it aligns your inner state with the energy of fulfillment, opening the doors for your dreams to materialize with grace and ease. Through gratitude, you become a magnet for the life you desire, celebrating each moment as a step toward the realization of your highest potential.